But tell me, just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. We want to be free to ride. We want to be free to ride our machines without being hassled by the man. And we want to get loaded. And we want to have a good time. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a party.
Welcome to another shit show on the Bikers Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Dirty and Tank.
We're on record now, so god damn, I just looked and went. I'm glad I saw it now before I got to the end and went, oh, fuck.
Okay.
Well.
Start over.
Hey, man, there's a reason we call it the shit show here, you know? I mean, Dirty's laughing because, I mean, hell, we did a whole fucking episode on Father's Day. Disappeared, didn't it, brother?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
He doesn't even. We didn't either in that episode. We were mailing it on that one. But anyway, so here we are, Bikers Lifestyle Podcast. Had all these people telling us, "Get on Zoom, you assholes!"
We're on Zoom now.
We're on Zoom now, and we're picking up on the Tank's an asshole because he's down in Florida, can ride his bike year-round episodes. We're talking to Tiller, old-time friend. Been an A-mate for a long time, fellow Wisconsinite, and now he's down in happy Arizona. And I think, Dirty, you had asked him what brought him down to Arizona. Let's take it from there.
I heard he was running from the law. Something about, got in some trouble, had to get down there to Arizona. Is that true?
What did we talk about earlier? What the fuck?
Son of a gun, man.
Killed a man because he didn't like the way he looked. That's what I remember. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
He fought the law, and the law is trying to win.
Yeah. No, that's my dream to fucking move down there to fucking Arizona, man, because this Wisconsin shit's got to go.
Yeah.
Fucking, I mean, we got ice and snow, and yeah, it's just fucking, anti-biker here in this fucking state right now.
Yeah.
I saw a guy in a Sporty today riding around. I'm like, yeah, you go, man, but I'm not doing it. I got so many broken bones and fucked up things wrong with me. I mean, if I ride in the cold, like, it takes me 2 days to recover from that shit.
Right.
Once it gets below 40, I'm done.
I tell you what, one of the rides we used to have in the club, we had a New Year's Day ride every year. We go up to the Inn on the Park, up on the square.
Yep.
And
in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yep, absolutely. Madison, Wisconsin. Yep, I got to reiterate that. The first one I did, I was early in the club, and everybody else on the ride had baggers and all this shit. All I had was my 70 XLH 900 Sportster, no front fender, no windshield, ape hangers, the whole hardcore deal. It was 16 below that day, and I'm going to say the windshield was up into the mid-upper 20s or wherever the hell it was.
Oh, man.
People say, oh, how can you do that? Well, ask a snowmobiler how they do it. You just dress for it. It's not real hard. But yeah, we went around town, and actually one of the members, I think TG, he had a Honda Shadow, and his fuel line froze up that day. So it was that cold.
Oh, God. So now you're down in sunny Arizona, and I used to have a lot of motorcycles in your garage at one point in time. Hell, you had one hanging up in Quaker Steak and Lube there in Middleton for a while.
I did. That's how privileged I was. I got tired of in the back of my corner of my garage. I started buying a few cushy bikes here and there, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to let it rot in my garage. I'm not going to get rid of it. So I went down to Quaker Steak and Lube and said, what does it take to hang a vehicle? I mean, they've got Corvettes hanging on the side of the walls. They've got actual shop hoists where, show cars up on top of them. You can eat right underneath them. It's a vehicle-themed, automotive-themed restaurant, and we got motorcycles hanging all over. He's like, I don't know what you got. Well, I showed him some pictures. It's like, I brought it down there and showed the manager. He's like, oh, we'll find a place for that. Well, they've got 2 TVs back behind the bar, and they called it the Handle Bar.
Ah.
And I said, well, wow, that'd be cool to have it above the 3 big screen TVs. Like, I don't think we can put it there. We'll have to put it over here in the corner in the ceiling and whatever. I'm like, whatever, I'd be honored just to brag that it's sitting here. I don't want to let it sit there and rot. I want to show it off either way. And so I got it down there, and he's like, you know what? We're going to put it right front and center above the center big screen TV. I'm like, cool.
What kind of bike was it?
It was a 70 XL8 Sportster.
Oh, okay. Was it like choppered out or?
Oh, yeah.
It had a 6-inch high boy in the frame. They cut the backbone right behind the tank and put it up at 6 inches in the front down tubes. The frame was all molded that I did. 4-inch risers, 16-inch ape hangers. I was 32 inches above the lowest part of my seat.
Oh, okay.
And I was still within Wisconsin regulations, because Wisconsin has the most, forgiving laws and regulations on at least that one rule. So yeah, I let it, I had it in there for 4 years hanging.
Nice.
And so we go down there for bike night, and bike night went from early Sturgis type stuff. In other words, 80% of the people were patch holders to
all right.
yuppie rubs that had $100,000 choppers that were lucky if they, I pushed my motorcycle farther than they rode theirs.
Right.
You're talking about the early 2000s when everybody had to have a 300 millimeter rear tire.
Yes, something like that.
Nice.
You didn't need a kickstand. You could let it sit. It was so fucking wide.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, well. Now, you talk to me about Black Rose.
The Black Rose was something that had to do with my old lady and me. We got together on Friday the 13th, kind of
Nice
committed, so to speak. And, I had a demented childhood. I liked monsters and all that, morbid shit, whatever. And so I just somehow came up with the name Black Rose, and that kind of stuck, and that was our thing.
Nice.
Well, I've got, that bike has been tore down to the bare frame. I mean, I don't have it anymore, but it had been tore down to the bare frame and completely reconfigured and different color and this and that 12 to 13 times over the 32 years that I owned it.
Wow. Damn.
That motorcycle, I can honestly say, me and the old lady had more near-death experiences out in Sturgis, South Dakota than anywhere on this planet and on any vehicle. I had a tire blowout, which I had just bought because the cop told me I had a too thin of tire and pulled me over for all kinds of stuff out in Sturgis.
Fucking cops.
Goddamn cops, man.
Well, what I did is I decided before we went out there, it was a Sportster. So we're going to go out and have a good time. Way before I became a club member, we hauled it in the back of my S10 pickup. So I'm going to make my own leather saddlebags.
Nice.
So I made those, but I didn't have the wire frame to hold it out away from the wheel. I didn't think a whole lot of it, but it was very thin leather, the kind of stuff I make my hats out of. It wasn't like saddle like most of them are made of. So we went out there for 2 weeks. I was actually looking to move to South Dakota. Realized that would be a dumb thing because it'd be worse than fucking Wisconsin for winters.
Right.
We're riding around, and we went to go from, we're going to go for the first time ever up to see Mount Rushmore. And we stopped off in Trout Haven, if you know, Sturgis area or whatever very well. Go to the gas station, have a soda, and relax a little while and take off again. We had sat there for a while, went to take off, and we got up to speed, 55, 65 miles an hour, whatever. And all of a sudden, hear this like bang. And the old lady's like, what happened? What did you do? I'm like, I don't know what I did, but just shut up and hang on. So we went across the oncoming lane. The back end's going back and forth, wobbling because I got a flat tire. I went off on the soft shoulder on the left-hand side, and the grader had just went through there. So it was like mush gravel. And I look over my left shoulder, and there's two guys trying to pull over to help me. Well, one of the guys had a bagger. He went off on that soft shoulder and dumped his bike.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't dump mine. I was like, okay, now I feel like crap. So I run back to help him pick his up. And he said, what happened? I said, I don't know. Tire went down or whatever. Well, he had a can of Fix-A-Flat. He stuck it in my stem, and it squirted out the side of the stem. Well, what happened is those soft saddlebags sitting inside the 2 weeks we were there, that offset center stem was going tick, 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 tick the whole 2 weeks. It finally ripped it off.
Wow.
And I just bought a brand new $150 tire out of my vacation money that I didn't really want to do. And so anyway, he's like, well, I had to go back down the hill to the gas station, took the old lady back down the hill. One of the guys took her for a ride, and I rode mine, limping it back down, trying not to ruin this new tire. So we get back down there and realize they don't have any air or anything. And this is before I think we even had cell phones. So Deadwood was 20 miles away, closest town with anything. And I knew there was a bike shop there. So I started hitchhiking. I said, you stay here with the bike. There's people here. And so I started hitchhiking. I got a ride right away. I got there. I said to the bike shop, I said, I want 2 tubes. And you'll find out why later. He's like, well, we don't have any for that right now, but we're going into Sturgis for supplies. We'll be back in a little bit. So, okay, fine, whatever. So we come back. We got the 2 tubes. And the couple that owned the shop, younger couple, his old lady was fucking hot. I'm telling you. So he's like, well, honey, why don't you take this guy that you don't know from Adam back to Trout Haven to help fix his motorcycle? I'm like,
Well, yeah.
Really? Are you serious? You're going to let me do that with your hot old lady? He's like, I didn't say that. So I hop in this Toyota whatever truck. We go there, and as I'm coming up to the gas station, the old lady's sitting there, and she's talking to a bunch of people. She's like, well, there's my sweetie now. And he's with a fucking blonde. I'm like, oh, oops. This is early on in our relationship. So we get there, and I pull the tire off. I bought a $5. I paid a guy $5 for a piece of shit vice grips. Pull the axle nut off. Got a piece of split wood out in the field and put that under the frame and pull the wheel off, put the new tube in it, got it back on, but they don't have air at this gas station. I'm like, okay. She's like, okay, there's another gas station 8 miles down. So she took us for a ride down there, aired the tire up, came back, and I went to take it out of the truck, bounced it on the ground, and went, hit. I pinched the tube. I'm like, okay, I bought 2 tubes. I've been in the tire business for 17 years. So
Having a hard time hearing you right now.
how about now? Now?
Yeah, it's a little better. I don't know. It's weird. It cuts in and out.
Okay. But anyway,
There you go.
There you go.
I'm trying not to make this the whole deal story tonight, but so I put the tube in it, and it was flat. I pinched the tube by accident. I was in a hurry, whatever. So I bought 2 tubes for a reason. So I put the second one in it. She's like, look, it's getting late. Why don't you put the tube in it? We won't go back and air it up again. Let's put it on the bike. We'll roll it on my truck. I got a plank in the back of the truck. We'll put it on there. We'll take it back to our shop. My husband can air it up and line it up for you and the chain and everything. I'm like, okay, cool. So long story short, we started out at about 10 o'clock in the morning to see Mount Rushmore. We got back about 11 o'clock or midnight that night with the bike. Never got to see Mount Rushmore that day. But that was one of the near-death experiences that we had. I blew out a rear seam on a gas tank going down the road.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
I look down at my crotch and I see gas. Well, the old lady's like, you smell gas? And we're riding with a bunch of people from camp we just met. We're going from Spearfish into Spearfish Canyon into Sturgis. I'm like, I don't see anything. I don't smell anything. Well, the gas fumes were wafting past me up to her. And I looked down at my crotch, and the back part of that gas tank had split open.
Man.
Holy shit.
It looked like a pressure washer was coming out on my frame and in the front of my seat. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I pull over, and I get to off the side of the road, and I flag down some people ahead of us, and they saw me. So the one guy had like a big squirt bottle full of ice water in the back of his sister belt. I grabbed that and I closed the motor down. Because literally the gas was sizzling on top of my rocker box. Why that thing didn't go up, I have not a clue. And so I did that. He gave the old lady a ride back to camp. She got the truck and the ramp, came back. We went into Rapid City, bought a King Sportster tank, rattle canned it, put some Harley stickers on the side of it, relocated the switch from the center of the baby bob, looked like a fat bob tank, back into the seat where it originally was, and we got to see shit the next day. I was on the road. So,
Man.
trials and tribulations of Sturgis.
Hey, I got a question for you. You still got that Confederate flag bike?
Well, that's the one I just got rid of to Club Brother Jaws.
Oh, okay. Is he riding it around up here still? Or, I mean, does he have it up here?
Yeah, he does. When he first got it, he rode it. He put like 40 miles on it one day and he went into somewhere.
So I got to ask you, do you ever get any shit for that? Like when you were out with it?
You know what? I never did.
You know, it's kind of funny because you know, if you post something like that on social media, fucking everybody, you know, freaks out about it because, you know, it's got the Confederate flag and apparently you hate everybody and blah, blah, blah. But in person, nobody ever says a fucking word about it.
Well, yeah, I thought you meant out and about with it. No, yeah. We had a few stupid comments. Yeah, I just blew it off. But yeah, you know, good job. Okay.
Nice. So what do you got for choppers nowadays?
Well, that's what we were talking about before. I'd had 4 bikes. I got rid of a 95 Softail that was 15 over wide glide. Nice. So it was about an 8-foot chopper. I got rid of that before we left, and I got rid of that 70 Sportster that was hanging at Quaker Stake. I got rid of that. That last time I knew, that was in Colorado. Came down here with that Rebel hardtail and the Ultra Classic.
Nice.
And what I did is the bike that I had before the Ultra Classic, I bought my first new Harley was an 01 wide glide. I bought it from Decker. I was one of the last riders to actually buy a new motorcycle before they closed down. So I was the original owner. I sold it to a guy that was I don't know, a painter or whatever for the company I worked for in Madison, the maintenance place. And I called him up one day. I just realized down here, I'm not riding with really anybody. I've got one club brother who lives here in Sun City West. He's a snowbird. I'm a wolf.
Nice.
And I said, this thing is big and cumbersome. I've had it for 17 years. I got nothing to prove. I want to enjoy myself down here. And I love that wide glide. That was one of the bikes at one time I said I would never get rid of. And downsizing and shit happens or whatever. So I called the guy up. I said, how about I trade you my 04 Ultra Classic with every bell and whistle on it for your 01 wide glide. Granted, before I sold it to him, I put a stage 2 kit in it. So he had lower mileage on his motor.
Mm-hmm.
I had 75,000 on mine and he had 25,000 on his motor. We talked about it a little bit. He goes, yeah, let's do this. So we paid for each other's shipping personally. And I made the swap. Now I got my baby back. That's the bike that it's a fucking hot rod. It looks good. Me and the old lady have been to Sturgis and New Orleans on it once and all over. And she says, man, this thing is still comfortable. So she was a little disappointed at first, but she's like, no, this is awesome. So we're both happy.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's fucking awesome. I mean, you know, we all have that one bike or whatever that we wish we could get back after we sold it because, you know.
That was it. Absolutely.
You know, it's kind of like women, you know, sometimes you after you dump a chick, you're like, man, I kind of wish, you know, maybe I'll give it another shot. But with bikes, it always seems to work out. With women, not so much. You know what I
mean? Good thing our wives don't. Oh, mine doesn't. Yours does. That's right, Dirty.
Gosh, she doesn't care about this shit anymore.
Oh, that's good. You got a bomb. Once they go bomb-proof, that's pretty good, man.
Dude, we're married. If she wants to leave me, there's paperwork involved, and that's not going to happen. So
Tiller, now you and I, we knew each other back in the A-Bait days.
Yeah.
You know, you were big in A-Bait. You were on the board of directors, I think, for a couple of years, and you did. I think was it the Share the Ride program?
Share the Road program, yep.
Share the Road program. Now, you used to ride around in your truck with a wrecked out motorcycle in the back to illustrate things to high school kids, right?
I did that. I went up to Green Bay and bought a crotch rocket that had been in a fatality accident.
Uh-huh.
And, I got it out of their junkyard up whatever, where they tow stuff to for the troopers. And I put it in the truck, and I would go to these places, and I would have the kids come outside and say, this bike is what happens when you don't, I would say before they went out to see it, I would show a brand new picture of that. It was a CBR Honda, whatever, race bike, red and white ones.
I remember
CBR
seeing
whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
CBR 1 million.
Yeah. And so I show the kids, I'm like, see this bike? This is what happens when you pay attention. And I take them outside and put them in my truck. I said, this is what happened when you don't pay attention. I said, I had a whole spiel. I would teach the class. And when I went to my class, you guys know me for my top hats. That was my trademark.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would go there full spikes and skulls and shit and my colors and everything. And they would pay attention. And I hope that if I got through to one kid in every class, what I taught was an exploded version of motorcycle awareness. They teach it in class for driver's ed, but I taught a much bigger, broader version of it. And I had a PowerPoint that I showed them. There were actual fatalities in my PowerPoint videos. And it actually got a puke result from a little girl in the front row one time.
Right on, man. Hits me right in the feels.
This was a story at some of the ABATE meetings and some of the state meetings we had. And sometimes I would come into class and they were just bored as hell and wanted to get out of there. They didn't give two shits. But other times I couldn't stop answering questions, this and that and the other thing. And I think I got their attention, and hopefully they, learned that and remembered that when they get out on the road with their cars and, learn how to watch for us.
Yeah.
They still do that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
As far as that, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
In fact, one of the guys, that's another story for another day. Never mind.
Oh, I touched on a touchy subject. My bad.
Well, it's another story for another day.
Okay.
Tiller, I've known you for a while, but one thing I don't know, how the hell did you get the name Tiller?
Well, Mike, do you know?
Yes. That name rings a bell, yeah.
Well,
dropping motherfuckers.
well, that's how they're known to everybody. So they have nicknames, but some of them don't like to be called the nicknames. So
That's true.
They're my sponsors, and they're safe with that. Anyway, was co-owner of Mad City Cycle.
Yeah.
And he was my co-sponsor, my main sponsor. Well, being a mechanic for 26 years, and now I'm in apartment maintenance or building maintenance for last almost 16 years. Because I was mechanically inclined, I decided to bring in a rototiller that he owned that he says ran a year ago prior. Most other people that know him say, no, that fucker didn't run 2-3 years ago. So what he did is he took the head off it and gave me the task of putting everything back together and getting it running. Well, before that happened, I went out for my initiation and was drinking from noon until our 8 o'clock meeting that afternoon or that evening, and drinking hard. And my sponsor knew how to drink. He was a professional. That's what they call him.
Nice.
So in doing that, they're feeding me things while I'm trying to put this together, feeding me drinks, liqueurs, eggs. Well, you know the spiel.
Yeah.
So some of those eggs happened to find its way into the cylinder before I put the head on.
Oh.
And I certainly wasn't aware of it. So I put the head on and I went to pull the ripcord. Well, I forgot to put the spark plug in it, and the egg shot out of the spark plug hole.
Nice.
So this, that, and the other thing, and never did get it running. But of course, they accommodated me with a set of colors,
Nice.
and so that's how that happened.
Nice. Well, now we know. The more you know. So, Tiller's Toppers. What's that? I mean, I know what it's all about. Why don't you tell everybody what Tiller's Toppers is?
Tiller's Toppers was kind of a bucket list thing that started out in the biker and rock and roll culture. I see a lot of people wearing leather top hats, you know, whether they're plain or hardcore or whatever. I just thought that was always so cool.
Yeah.
I've been into the top hat thing for a long time. So I set out to find out how to make one. It took me literally 6 months to figure out how to make a top hat. The angles and stuff are more complicated than people would think. Now, if I have the pattern cut out, I can stitch one together in 3 nights.
Oh, wow.
How long you been working on leather?
Oh, I've been doing the top hats for 7, 8 years now.
Right on. What got you into doing leather work?
Well, the top hats. That's all I did at first, and now I'm branching out and I'm doing a few things for, you know, little things here and there. But and I realized after a lot of years, hey, not everybody likes top hats. I'm like, duh. So okay, so I started experimenting. Now I'm up to like 8 or 9 different styles of hats. I make everything from, I've got like 3 different style of cowboy hats. I've got the rebel, you know, the true rebel hat, pork pies, fedoras, 3 or 4 different styles and sizes of, you know, tall or short top hats, you know, mad hatted hats to, I've got like, they've got the big conchos around it. Trying to think of somebody. Like,
You ever get into like making like wallets or belts or anything?
I can, but I haven't too much. Like I said, a few things here and there. I made a thing for my boss at work. He's got a flashlight and a Leatherman in it, and he had a real thin version of it. He goes, "Can you make something like this?" Well, I had some saddle leather and like some really thick, like 12 gauge leather, 12, 14 gauge leather. I said, "Yeah, I can do that." So I came home and I made it, you know, position things a little different and did this and that. And he goes, "Man, this is better than the one I bought from the company," you know. So he's happy as hell with it. It'll last forever.
Right on. Because yeah, man, because you see some of the prices on some of the, you know, the boutique, you know, wallets and belts. I mean, shit, man, a guy can make a real living off something like that, you know.
Right. Yeah. I wish
I could use a new wallet. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you and Duke used to have club member Duke. He had like 3 or 4 coatings of duct tape on his and whatnot. Yeah. And we did I don't know if you're aware of the Centurions and the CC Rider full contact pool.
No, yes, I am.
Right. So he had that wallet and it got ripped out of his pocket or whatever. This, that, and the other thing happened, and I think he eventually got a new wallet.
Well, nothing lasts forever, you know.
But yeah, no, that was a comical one.
So what's it like down there in Arizona, man? It's fucking. What's the motorcycle scene like down there? People still ride motorcycles these days?
Oh yeah.
Or is everybody scared of the coronavirus?
Well, right now, yeah. I mean, I still see them out on the road, but we don't get out too much. I mean, you know, the old lady's got a very compromised immune system, so that's part of our issue, and that was another reason why we came down for her things that are going on. Well, but even when it was before this, sure, there's tons of bikes, but as far as people flying stuff, I thought I'd see a lot more, and I don't see anybody. Almost nobody, especially the main one that's here. Let's just say it that way.
Right on. Well, shit, man, I'll be, you know, because I guess to let everybody know, like, we're friends on Facebook, and I'll be on Facebook, and it'll be, you know, below freezing where I'm at, and I'll see you with no shirt on barbecuing outside, and I'm just
like 115 degree temperature.
Yeah, and here's Tiller fucking barbecuing with no shirt on, drinking a beer. I'm like, motherfucker, that son of a bitch.
I'd
So is it-
apologize. I'd apologize for that. I'd apologize for that, but I just can't. I'm sorry.
No, don't.
Oh no, I'll be down there soon enough. Because
That's your dream, isn't it, Dirty?
Oh, that is the dream.
Yeah.
You know, that is the dream. Me and the wife talk about it all the time about fucking moving down to Arizona. Because
Either one of you brothers, you guys get a bug up your ass. You want to come on down? We got a 3-bedroom. We got a place to stay.
yeah, I'll take you up on that.
You need a vacation.
Watch what you wish for.
Yep.
I'll puke on your front lawn.
Oh, they don't have front lawns down there. They put rocks and shit all over the place.
Gravel. That's for damn sure.
Like I said, I don't miss mowing lawn and shoveling fucking snow.
When I was out in Las Vegas a few years ago getting married, I noticed like a lot of people have like green pea gravel in the front of their house.
There's a lot of different colored rocks. Yes.
Nice. That's my dream.
Yeah, granite or whatever it is. But there's a lot of people down here that grow grass on purpose.
Wow. Why?
Because they want to fuck. Yeah, you tell me. We'll both.
I don't know.
They want grass, and you know the place I work at now, which is truly my dream maintenance job. I didn't think I'd ever find. They have lawns, luscious pine trees or palm trees, and all kinds of shit. But they grow grass twice a year because they have winter grass and summer grass. So in other words, when winter comes around, they kill the shit out of the summer grass. They mow it down tight and burn the shit out of it. And then they have to grow all new grass.
Speaking of grass, is marijuana legal down there yet?
I was waiting for that.
It just became legal, but it's not really going to kick in everything that people want to see or hear until probably April or May next year. You know, they've got, you know, they signed it and this, that, and it's happening, but it's not completely going to be done. It's just not magic, you know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it finally happened. Too bad Wisconsin couldn't do it. But
yeah. I just remember hearing something about it where Arizona was had it on the ballot or whatever, and it passed. So that like almost expedited things a little bit for me up here. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah. Well. So one of the things we do like to ask on the Biker's Lifestyle, not all the guests, but we try to fit it in. Oh, Dirty Fits, by the way, just to let you know, Dirty Fits, great stuff. It's one of our sponsors. But okay, question. Oh yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna give a shout out to Vito for turning me on to Acid Blonde cigars. Acid Blonde cigars, pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah, and you use a blowtorch
Dirty
to light
Fits,
it.
though, by the way.
Dirty Fits.
You can't wear the hat, but no.
And now Tiller's Toppers. I'm going to throw him in there too into the mix.
Tiller's Toppers, yeah.
Yep. So we've got 2 sponsors now. We're up to 8 viewers and 2 sponsors. But okay, money's no object, right? Let's say you had unlimited budget, and you can buy any motorcycle you wanted in the world. What would you buy?
I would buy a Vincent Black Lightning.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
What, did he take your bike?
No, that would be pretty badass. I mean, I hear they're like the world's biggest pain in the ass to keep running on the road, but who gives a shit? It's
but the motor was so advanced for its time, and they were really quick, if I remember reading.
Yeah, I mean, it was
bikes for their time, yes.
Yeah, for their time. With me, it'd be like a 1938 Crocker, but that's kind of my style, you know.
Well, they made them from 1928 to 1955. There was they made a White Lightning, which is kind of cool to sound like, a Black Shadow, Rapid, R-A-P-I-D-E. I don't know how you pronounce that, Rapidi or Rapid or whatever.
Rapide.
Whatever, yeah, snooty shit that we can't afford. And then the Black Lightning. The Black Lightning has gone for, some of those have gone for way over $100,000. and I want to say there was one that was almost $1 million. I was kind of researching that before we got online, and just stupid money. I want to say, I know Jay Leno has one that's just absolutely out there for price wise.
He is like one of everything, I think.
Yeah, Jesus.
Now,
I think he's the least funny comedian in my book ever was. I don't know how he ever accomplished that, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'm up there with you. You ever been over to the National Motorcycle Museum in Anamosa, Iowa?
Absolutely.
I love that place.
Yeah, I did that once, and they actually were interested in my Sportster at the time.
Oh, yeah?
And they've got certain sections. They've got chopper sections, and they've got, race bike sections, and, hand-built whatever shit sections. But they were very interested in it. They talked about it, and they didn't have a spot for me at the time. And I was this close to just saying, here, just keep it. And I didn't do that. I'm glad I didn't. But
yeah.
It'd be cool to have bragging rights to say it was in there. But they only let shit sit in there for 2 or 3 years at the most. And then they rotate it. They rotate it out because my brother that's down here in Sun City West, Wolf, and then Don built bikes from the ground up. He built one of those Chrysler, like the K car 4-cylinders. They call it the Hemi.
Okay.
It was like 80s fucking K car, but he put one of those in a bike.
Oh, okay.
He's built cross-mounted V6 Buick bikes. I mean, way before Boss Haas cycles ever thought about being a thing. This man has built more shit than we could ever think of. He's forgot more than we'll ever learn. And he's in his 70s, I think, now, and he's still riding choppers. He built
Nice.
he took a Buell and chopped it. Not a Buell, but a V-Rod. He took a V-Rod and chopped it, and it looked correct. It looked cool. I thought, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would
I
you
once
do
saw
that?
a V-Rod trike.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
Right, the yellow one?
No, I haven't seen that particular one, but I've seen V-Rod trike, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, I always wonder what that would ride like. I mean, it's got to be a wheelie machine because V-Rods aren't exactly known as being slow. It's got to be able to.
You got to keep them up there at RPMs too. They're meant to run
Oh,
hard.
yeah. Yeah, they like to be beat to shit.
Yeah, you can't pooch them. You shouldn't anyway.
Well,
No, well, we all ride our motorcycles within the limitations of the speed limits. Come on, guys.
I'm sorry.
yeah, I've never
What did
went
you
over
say?
the
Did
speed
you say
limit ever.
Really, really bad connection. Yeah. Rebate meeting one time, going up north, and I had my 04, my Ultra Classic, and this is pretty late at night, and this fucking dude in a monster truck or whatever come flying up behind me. I'm like, okay, fuck you. So I start weaving in and out of traffic, and we're on the interstate, and he's trying to eat me. I'm like $1.15 before I finally started to get away from this guy. I don't know what his problem was. Didn't like bikers, whatever it was, but I pushed that bagger faster than I thought it would go.
Yeah, talking about A-Bait, up in A-Bait Acres there up in Greenwood, Wisconsin. And it's always interesting because we got, why we put our campground in the middle of like Amish territory is beyond me. But if you've been up there and you go into Greenwood to pick up beer or supplies and stuff, and literally the locals just stop talking when they see the bikers come in, and there's like hushed little conversations and stuff, and it's kind of weird.
There's a couple cool little biker bars right there, though, but they accommodate us very well.
Oh yeah, very much so. No, I mean the people are really cool. It's different,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's different. A-Bait Acres. I was up there one time, like the opening night of Summer Hummer. I don't know if you were there that year when a kid on a crotch rocket decides he's going to race up there on Capitol Road, and ends up. I think he almost died. They had to airlift him out in a helicopter.
I don't remember that one. Nope. I've been up there a number of times, but not that one.
And that's the first time I saw the midget stripper.
Okay. Bridget the midget.
Bridget the midget. Cupcake.
Cupcake?
Cupcake is her name. The funny thing is
that was the second one. They had Bridget the Midget was another one they had up there.
okay, I didn't see Bridget, but Cupcake was up there. And then I think it was the next year, our former president from the club, Jax, had his birthday party, and we hired a stripper, and it was Cupcake. Like, oh dear God, like I can't unsee that now. So, oh my God, she earned her money. I'll tell you that much.
Fucking Cupcake. Fuck.
Usually when we went up there, me and the old lady both went up there. She was part of products and whatnot, part of A-Bait.
Yeah.
And we went up the one time, and Bridget the Midget was the one that was there at the time. And I've got my big cowboy belt style CC Rider belt buckle. Well, I'm standing there looking at her, and she's standing on the ground, and she looks at me, and she puts her head down, and she headbutts my belt. What did you just do? I'm like, you're lucky my old lady's not standing here watching you. It was just funny shit. But yeah, she was, people were picking her up and carrying her around and whatnot, and she was real cool about it. But yeah, it was good entertainment. Let's just say it that way.
What is it? Dance with the Devil and Howl with the Wolves or something, I think it is.
Yeah, that's kind of their motto or whatever you want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, the big bonfire and the long line of underwear and bras that goes to Twit's campsite.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what happens in A-Bait Acres stays in A-Bait Acres. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember when I first started prospecting my club, and you and Cheryl were down. There was a friend of ours. She was in a motorcycle accident, and we were having a charity ride for her. And so I was probating the club, and we knew each other. And I remember you were sitting at the bar, and so I went up and did my protocol. Hey, doing, tank, probate, brothers and chains and whatnot. We talked for a sec, and then you stopped and you looked at me because, as a club member, you hear all sorts of bullshit from people. And, you quickly call out on it. And you thought you were calling me out on it, and you're like, well, if you're a probate for the club, where's your vest? And I shot right back, and I was like, well, actually, because there's no other club members here, and I can't wear it without another club member around. And you were like, looked at me like, good answer. Okay, all right. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. And we kind of follow that rule, too, with the CC Riders.
Yeah, well, it's a good rule,
Well, absolutely.
It's about protecting your future brother, right?
There should be at least one member with him. You bet.
Yeah, I remember that ride that we were on, too. Nobody knew where they were going. They kind of stuck me. Hey, put Tank up there in charge, and he'll lead the ride. And I'm like, where are we going? And then they got it turned around or something. And then I think it was another guy from A-Bait Rock County said, well, I know where we're going. And then he tried to bring us to the wrong bar. And we're like, well, Jesus Christ, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Like, where the fuck are we going? I don't know. Let's just go to this place, But it was a good time. Now, back to A-Bait. You're friends with a very well-known, world-renowned biker, Tony Pan Sanfilippo.
Absolutely. Nationwide,
yeah. He's probably one of the most famous bikers I know.
Yep, me as well. Absolutely. Yeah, he's seen it all and seems to have done it all.
He was in a movie recently, too.
Yes. Yeah. No, I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, it's something I have yet to purchase and see.
Yeah, I'd like to see it as well. I know about the movie.
Yep.
But that was back in he's one of the founders of A-Bait Wisconsin, correct?
He is one of two, yes, but he's the main one that people talk about and remember. And I should know the name of the other one, but it just doesn't get brought up enough to where it sticks in my head. I'm getting old. But yeah, no, Tony back in 1974 started A-Bait.
Oh, that was back in the day. Were you part of A-Bait when they had the big helmet law wars with the state capitol and whatnot?
I wasn't part of A-Bait, but I lived in the Madison area, and I was up there for that.
Like 10,000 bikers, I think, were converged on the area, correct?
I don't know about 10,000, but there was a lot.
Well, the number goes up every year,
Yeah.
Just like it was 20,000 bikers were up there that day.
$25,000. That's right.
The 50? I heard it was just under 50.
Yeah, but Tony Pan. Now I'm not sure if he was the one, but I remember the guys in ABATE, the ones that had, they didn't they actually burn in effigy one of the statesmen, like from a tree or something, to make their point.
I seem to have heard something like that, but I couldn't tell you details.
Imagine ABATE doing that now. We've both been to lobby days. Imagine ABATE doing that now at the state capitol.
Right? Yeah. No, it wouldn't go by very good.
No. I mean, we're told to put masking tape over our offensive patches.
Yeah, I did that once. I had a patch. I'm trying to think of what the hell it was on my vest now, and I forgot to tape it up. And nobody said anything, but oh, I know what it was. The guy I was talking about before that built all these wild exotic bikes with V8s and shit in it. Don. One of our members came up with something that I thought was so awesome. I had to have the patch. He goes, "Fuck Jesse James. We got Don." And I thought that's the most iconic patch I'll ever own.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of people don't realize what places like organizations like ABATE do. Truly are freedom fighters and looking out for biker rights. And having been part of those lobby days and been a spokesperson in those offices, it's neat to be part of the process. You talk about grassroots organization, that would be ABATE Wisconsin, that's for sure.
It is. And I'm very proud of that. Like I say, like you said before, I was on the board for 2 years, very proud to do that. It just got to be, and doing the share the road, once you got home from work, you had another job. That's a full-time job to do it right. And I didn't feel I was completely doing it the right, what people would expect of a true officer of the club or the organization. I can't say club, it's an organization.
Yeah.
So I kind of backed away from it and got out of the board of directors and kind of jumped back in my own club wholeheartedly again. But I'm glad I contributed and was part of that. That's a huge part of my history. I love it.
Yeah, your club's got a storied history in the area. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. I was actually was very proud to be on the board during the 40th anniversary of ABATE.
Mm-hmm. I was at that party, as a matter of fact.
Yep. They had the state meeting right there at the Hojo in Madison, and gave away awards and all kinds of stuff. So did the ride and kind of a history tour, and Tony Pan and a bunch of people spoke, and some people that were in the biker culture with the CC Riders and ABATE back then, because they were the two that were very close knit together back then.
That was a hell of a party at your clubhouse too, I remember.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't either. Actually, I do. It was a hell of a party, brother.
Nope, it was a good time. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys are very instrumental. I mean, the clubhouse is like the staging area for the ABATE lobby days.
Yes, we do accommodate them very well. We have buses, a shuttle bus that we get ready for everybody. Everybody come down, have a cocktail or whatever, and before and after, even donuts, I think.
Yep, there are. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's very very helpful for them. And actually, it wasn't Chubby, but somebody from the board called me and wanted to know if I could arrange it, because we have a new president, Rio. And so I called Rio up and made the arrangement again this year. Even though I'm down here, I still take care of some things once in a while, which is it's nice. I'm still not an active member, but I'm still a dues paying key holding member.
Well, that's what's important, right?
So do what I can.
Yeah, well, that's all you can do. I mean, you certainly did your time, that's for sure.
20 plus years.
Yeah. Now, do you remember the old clubhouse?
I do. Yep. I was there way back when, obviously way before I was a member. Yep. On Patterson. You bet.
Yeah. Yep. I've heard the stories. I know a lot of your older members as well. I'm not going to name their names. A couple of them live right near me, so in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Actually, the original bar top is hanging in our meeting room.
Oh, I've been in. That's what that is. Okay. I was going to say I've been in your meeting room.
Yep.
So yeah.
Very good part of history.
Yeah, definitely. So What else you want to talk about? You got any other good stories about your obviously very storied past as a biker?
Well, we've covered a lot of it right now. Yeah, I don't know. You caught me off guard there.
Well, that's the idea.
No, the one thing I wanted to talk about, and I asked you about it before, if you would if you knew about the 50th anniversary DVD that we have, the club has.
I knew about it, and I would definitely like a copy of it. We'll have to talk and exchange information. I'll get I definitely want a copy of that.
Yep. It's cool. It's got a lot of history behind it, and it's got a lot of interviews of us as officers and people in the past. There were actually some, back in the 70s, I think, news interviews of the CC Riders. Actually, we were in Madison Magazine at one time. I've got one of the original copies of that.
Wasn't the name of that article "Don't Mess with the CC Riders"?
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah,
I think I've seen that.
Yep. I believe RT and was on the front of that.
Okay.
One other member. My mind's a blank. But anyway, yeah, the two members are on the cover of it, and they've got some pretty neat articles and interviews in there.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I think I'm trying. I think it was the Madison Sentinel, the major newspaper up there. Didn't they just recently do a story on you guys, like last year or beginning of this year? I want to say there was a big article on you guys. It was right around the 50th.
Yes. There was a member with his back to the, on the cover, you get colors from the cover.
Yeah.
Yep. That was Nat.
Okay.
His colors were on there. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
I got that sitting at home too.
Remember one of your... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
Well, I was going to say, it's kind of unique that it seems like the city of Madison, Wisconsin really embraces you guys.
Yes. We actually, it's been told to me that where we were in Patterson Street, once we moved from there, where we are, now, the crime rate went up when we left. And the crime rate went down when we entered the new neighborhood.
Yeah, well, I mean, bikers usually get a bad rap, but usually we just keep to ourselves, and I mean, it's kind of, it goes against the narrative, I guess, of motorcycle clubs when you say that the crime rate goes down when we leave,
Or up, rather.
Or up, whatever.
Yeah, it goes down when we move in and up when we leave.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember one of your old members passed on, Patch.
What's that?
No, one of the CC Riders, one of the first guys that I met, one of my first experiences up at the clubhouse a while back, and it was Patch.
Oh, okay.
And he was a dynamic individual, to say the least, Tiller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could write a book.
He was bigger than life, and I remember, kind of nervously saying I was going somewhere. One of the guys was leading me into one of the back rooms to show me something, and I was like, and he was coming out, and I said, "Well, you want me to close the door?" And he was like, "Well, what the fuck are you supposed to do with the door? God damn it, you're supposed to open and close it. So close the goddamn thing." And then he walked away.
Well, I tell you what, a good story about Patch. We did a stag run up by La Crosse, and we're all camping out and whatnot. And he's sitting at the picnic bench, and he liked tequila a lot. And, we're sitting there, and he's kind of nodding off and just about ready to pass out. And he's head bobbing. All of a sudden, bang! He slams his forehead against the picnic table. And, oh, I'm up. And I'm like, okay. So then, a little later on, the next morning, showtime, climbs out of his tent. He's all hungover. He's like, oh man, I'd feel better if somebody just hit me upside the head with a sledgehammer. Patch accommodated. He had his station. He smacked him upside the head and he's like, what the fuck did you do that for? He goes, well, you told me I'm here for you, brother.
I can see him doing that. That's funny. Nice with the emoticons. Very, very nice, Dirty. I like that. Very nice touch.
I'm getting used to this Zoom thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the Zoom thing. He's got the little.
That's for the kids.
Oh, is that okay?
I'm going to apologize to my club brother right now for not remembering his name, but Pan Ed was the other one on the cover.
Okay.
Oh,
Pan
okay.
Ed in RT. They were both on the cover of the Madison magazine.
You've got some very interesting members here.
Oh,
Well, most motorcycle clubs have some pretty interesting people in them, to say the least. So I'm going to put you on the spot now. Okay, so you ride solo by yourself, you're riding with just like another club brother, somebody you trust, or riding in a group. Which one do you like the best?
You know, I think we talked about this before.
That's why I asked you.
That's a hard question, but I truly love riding with, you know, the club, you know, handlebar, you know, you got 100, 150 bikes or whatever.
I'm going to help you out here real quick. You're supposed to say you enjoy riding with your wife on the back.
I'm sorry, what?
You're supposed to say you enjoy riding with your wife on the back, because the last time I was asked that, I was scolded because I didn't say that. So I'm just saying.
Well, and I enjoy that too. So I'll put that in there.
I know what you mean, Tiller. I mean, if you were to ask me that question, I'd say I like all of them. I like riding by myself. It's nice being able to hammer out some miles next to somebody you trust and somebody you know you can just, the two of you can blaze. And there's a cool feeling to ride in a big group.
Right. I guess that's how much I like riding. I'm sure you two can contest to this.
Yeah.
I like riding that much where I like all three equally.
There's never a bad time on a motorcycle.
No, exactly.
No.
Well, monsoon rains with 2 inches of water on the ground, and you know.
Yeah, but that's where you get the stories.
Well, yeah, but it always sucks when you're going through it. It's always a good time when you've been through it, you know.
Well, I mean, every time I ask somebody, tell me a story about riding a motorcycle, it starts out with some horrible fucking weather condition. Either
That's actually
it was cold
true.
as fuck, or it was raining like a motherfucker, or it was both. It's never, oh, it was a beautiful 80-degree day and we're riding down the fucking highway and we're looking at trees and blah, blah, blah. It's always, oh, it was colder than dog shit outside, you know, and fucking blah, blah, blah. It was fucking miserable. I mean, shitty weather makes really good stories.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I could write a book on that right there. I used to run the K in a day for our club. I did it for 4 years in a row. Ole, God rest his soul, handed that down to me, and I was very honored. So the one time we went, there was just a horrendous storm coming in. We were going to go to Fargo, North Dakota and back. And one of the guys that was riding with us, won't mention any names, he had just had neck surgery probably 3 or 4 months prior. So he was still not 100%. So it was like, we got 10 miles out of town and it started raining. It was like 50 degrees and raining. You know what that feels like?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'm tensing up. I can't do it. I understand that. Go home and warm up. You got nothing to prove, brother. So me and Utter were the only other two. And I had my Y Glide that I got back now. And he had his older, like a 97 Y Glide or 96. And I said, you in? He goes, let's go. So the first 450 miles of that first leg, they had tornado warnings at La Crosse. They shut the airport down in St. Louis, and we were still riding. Those cars pulled off underneath the overpasses and this and that, just absolutely pouring. I can't count how many times I stopped and dumped my boots out and whatever. We got 50 miles out of Fargo, and it finally slowed up a little bit. So we got to the KFC in Fargo and ate lunch, walked across the street and bought dry socks at Kmart, and rode back and didn't get anything until we got to the edge of, like, outside of Madison, and the sky lit up again. I'm like, oh, fucking it never got us, but we got back home. But yeah, that was probably one of the most horrendous, the top 3 that I've ever been in. I've been pelted with hail out in Sturgis a couple times, and here in Wisconsin. We used to have a 7 clubs. We used to call ourselves the Friendly 7, that went up to Ron Schultz and donated money every year to the children's Lions camp. And
Right.
you know, if you donated like $2,500, you got this marble diamond mounted in these walls, and all these donation people and organizations. And we did it multiple times. And the one time we went up, it just this horrendous storm came up, and you could see this black rain look like going across in front of us, and like all of a sudden a 60-mile-an-hour crosswind. Had they waited like 30 seconds and just let it go through, it would have been fine. But no, they had to drive through it, thought they could beat it, and they didn't. Well, one of the apparitions, I think, went down trying to pull off on the road, and nothing, you know, serious or whatever. But yeah, the people had welts down their arms and their neck and their face and everything from the hail. And it was looked
Jeez.
like,
Oh, yeah.
it was like an inch of snow. It was just hail on the road. And then it was over. Bang, it was done. But yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
shitty weather makes the best stories.
absolutely.
Yeah, you really never know how truly retarded you are until you're sitting in one of those riding a motorcycle.
Well, you know, riding a bike is, or you know, it's like, damn, I'm cool. God, I'm stupid. Damn, I'm cool. God, I'm stupid. It described to me.
That's a good
And
way
it
to
never
look at it.
fails, man. When you stop at a gas station when it's raining outside and you're on your fucking scooter machine, fucking some asshole's gonna ask, "Oh, is it raining out there? Is it raining out there?" Yeah, it is, asshole. Fuck you.
They come in full leather. Oh, did you ride a motorcycle? No, it's fucking Halloween 24/7. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
My-
I'm pretending.
My favorite is when the person goes, hey, you know, riding a motorcycle's dangerous. And I go, oh my God, really? Jesus Christ, I better sell it and get off it. I better stop. I didn't know it was dangerous. Holy crap.
Yeah.
We're out at Tallard Station in Middleton out by the airport. And I don't know, probably 20, 25 of us rode out there, just out and about, out in town, having a good time. There were a bunch of college kids in there, you know, and they're asking stupid questions like, oh, where can I get a shirt like that? Where can I get a vest like that? You don't. You got to be a member and this and that. You have to explain them, you know, like 5-year-old.
I tell them eBay.
Right.
Wish.
And
Wish.
one guy comes up to us and literally he's like, where are you guys from? It's like he's on speed. Where are you guys from? Hey, you right out here. It's really cold out, man. The weather's bad. You just go a mile a minute. And one of my members kind of turns halfway around to show Madison, Wisconsin rocker on the bottom. He goes, oh, we're from Toledo. Really, man? You guys are from Toledo? Oh, wow, that's a long ways to ride. Going and going. I'm like, okay, dude, get away from me. Go. And the guy says to me later on, he's like, so you guys got like nicknames and stuff in the club, right? I'm like, yeah, some of us. He goes, well, what's yours? I'm like, Tiller. He goes, well, how'd you get that? I said, well, you got to do something with the bodies. He goes, oh, man, see how you guys get your reputation? I'm like, dude, I'm joking.
That's
Sure.
awesome.
I never tell them I'm joking.
Actually, anytime anybody asks Dirty how he got his name, it's a different story.
It always is. It always
Yeah.
is.
Maybe even
No,
I don't
usually-
know the story.
My favorite is when they ask me, how do you join the club? And I usually tell them, well, it starts with a $100 application fee, and I'll take that right now.
We'll call you later.
Yeah. Don't call us, we'll call you.
That's the one thing you do definitely get a lot of, you know, being a club member. You get a lot of those idiots that just like present themselves to you, you know, for your humor.
Everybody knows somebody else that's been in a club. Oh, I know a buddy of mine was in this club, and it was pretty hardcore. It's pretty more hardcore than your club, you know. Oh, pretty hardcore, you know.
Well,
Okay, man. Awesome.
One of my favorites was a few years back, and somebody goes, "Oh, you're in the BIC, yeah? Do you know Doc? He's a member." And I'm like, "Who? Who's Doc?" Like, what the fuck? Of course I know him. He's a member of the club, don't you?
Yeah.
Come on, really?
I love when people start name dropping. Oh, do you know this person? Yeah, motherfucker. We're in the same club. Yeah, I know him. What's your point? Oh, I know him too. Great. Awesome. Good for
That's
you.
fine. You guys are actually talking about real people, but oh yeah, my uncle was a CCR. Really? What's his name? No, never fucking heard of him. I was secretary for 2 years. I know every fucking members ever in that club since 1968. Not happening. Oh, well, he rode with them a couple. Yeah. Now you're getting close. Yeah. Go away.
Yeah. or somebody else in some other club in the area, and they say their name and it's like Snake. You know, it's like, yeah, no shit. Yeah, I know like 10 fucking snakes, dude.
Yeah.
Give the
Yeah.
You know,
nickname
it's
to your
like,
Oh,
have you
man.
ever heard of Beetle? No, dude. Really?
It gets old, you know, and you find yourselves like less apt to suffer a fool.
Yeah.
If they only knew how we made fun of them. Well, I guess we're telling them right now.
Well, yeah, but they don't listen to this shit. Nobody listens to this shit. Come on.
Hey, come on, though. I'm told we're up to like 12 or 13 viewers, you know?
Yeah,
Hey,
all 6
hey,
of them.
My dad has a Harley. Yeah, that's nice. Your family must be proud. Go away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. yeah. Oh,
Good job.
God. We could talk about that for hours. Jesus.
Fucking Goldwing riders, I tell you.
Goldwingers. Yeah. Well.
You know what I taught my son when he was growing up? You know, we'd hear a bike going by, we'd see a bike, and like, Dakota, what kind of bike is that? That's a wingding. What do wingdings do? Wingdings suck, Dad. I'm like, good boy.
Well, it's funny, you know, you get in the club and like, you know, you hear a bike, you know, you're in the clubhouse and you're not looking out the windows and you hear a motorcycle and you're like, oh, this person's here. You know by the sound of their bike, you know.
Yeah, I get that. You bet.
Yeah. Well, Taylor, I got to say, man, thank you very much for coming on the shit show.
Thanks for inviting me. This is awesome. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure talking to you. We'll have to have you on here again. We're going to promote Tiller's Toppers, everybody. That's right. On the Facebook and on the viewing machine there, I'll put some pictures of your product and whatnot. And
I have a Facebook page, Tiller's Toppers, with an S on each word. So yeah.
Yep. I'll make sure we get the link and stuff there. And Dirty, anything you want to wrap up with?
No, I'm good, man.
Right on. Well, I mean, here we did the Zoom thing, Dirty. Look at this. We're technical.
Yeah, we're fucking breaking in new territory here.
Yeah, evidently. So once again, Tiller, thanks a lot. And everybody just remember, the most dangerous part in your motorcycle is the nut that connects the seat to the handlebars. Fuck off.
Ah.